Hi, folks. It's me again, as usual. Don't mind me. I'm just playing RuneScape. I want to talk about this damn coronavirus. We've made it so far. We've made it so far. And now everyone is just being stupid and getting sick. We're getting close to 10 million confirmed infections already. Arizona is currently the latest coronavirus hotspot. We're getting over 3,000 new infections a day just in Arizona. Big reason behind this, other than the fact that everything is starting to open again and people are going back to their normal lives before the coronavirus. They've forgotten about the coronavirus, or they just don't seem to care anymore. Everyone is apparently suffering from major cabin fever. So they're just pulling a YOLO at this point and just going out into the wild. Not forgetting, they're forgetting that the coronavirus is still a threat. Yeah, sure, it may be old news, but it's still a threat. And just because it's old news doesn't make it any less of a threat. That's what everyone's forgetting. They either forgot about that or they just don't care anymore. Everyone that I've personally talked to that have supposedly gotten this virus have all told me the same thing. It felt like death. It felt like every breath might have been their last. Apparently if you catch this thing, you have a really high chance of developing pneumonia. It's a respiratory virus. So that's primarily what it fucks with, is your lungs. It's like a hybrid of a common cold and a flu on steroids. You have a very high chance of developing pneumonia if you catch this crap. Even a lot of healthy young people that catch this usually wind up getting at least a mild form of pneumonia, and that's the biggest reason why it makes it difficult to breathe. Your lungs get so inflamed and fucked up, and they start filling up with bullshit, and then it makes it difficult for your lungs to transfer oxygen into your body. Looks like the stupid fire department is finally leaving the fire station. I bet it's another corona-related emergency. What else is new? Everyone's being stupid. Everything is still deserted in a lot of areas. The only areas over here that are usually packed is major streets for obvious reasons and grocery stores. The economy is still shit. There's millions of people lost their jobs, and who knows when we're going to be able to work again. Definitely not until this vaccine is out. We still got a few more months until they release the vaccine. And just because they release a vaccine doesn't mean it's going to be widely available, because it's not. It's only going to be available to high-risk people. Medical workers are going to obviously get it first because they're at the highest risk. And then they're going to gradually roll it out to everyone. And the thing that's kind of worrisome is knowing how quickly they're pushing this vaccine out. Is it even going to work? Is it? Another problem is, do we even have enough resources to make the vaccine? Supposedly there's a shortage of glass vials that they're going to use to store the vaccine in, so that could delay the process of getting this vaccine out. It's retarded. Just so much drama. This stupid virus is causing too many problems. On top of this, there's so many other problems going on. It's crazy. People are still going crazy with the rioting and protesting. This whole year has just been the biggest mess ever. I'm telling you, folks, we're already more than halfway through this year, and when this year is finally over, we're just gonna pretend, let's just all agree to pretend that this year never happened. when we jump into 2021, every time we look back at old memories, we're just going to pretend that there was no 2020. It just went from 2019 straight to 2021. This is bullshit. This whole year just feels like it didn't even happen. I only did like one fun thing this year, and that was at literally the beginning of the year. That was when I went to the biggest mini bike ride ever, the Arizona mini bike ride. I think it was during like the first week of January, and there were like 300 mini bikes and pit bikes and crap, just several hundred mini bikes. I'm glad that I got my bike working good enough to where it wouldn't break down. I got my bike working top notch just in time. I made it to the biggest mini bike event ever, because we always have those mini bike events at the beginning of every new year. But I'm kind of wondering, are we gonna have another mini bike hood ride after the new year? I don't know, because that's still like another, 6-7 months from now. So who knows? Maybe this will all be over by the new year. I'm hoping it would be, because we're expecting this vaccine probably sometime in the fall, and then we're going to expect it to be rolled out to pretty much most of the world sometime within the first quarter of next year. So in the next 2 or 3 months, this virus is going to start burning out, because the vaccine is going to start taking over, and it's going to make more and more people immune. So the virus is going to have less and less of hosts to leech off of. That's why we need a stupid vaccine already. It's just, this is going to be the quickest that we've ever seen a vaccine developed. It's weird. Like, supposedly the vaccine for some other disease, I don't remember if it was Ebola or something, but they made that vaccine in record time. It took like around 4 years for them to develop that vaccine, and they're considering that record time. They've never made a vaccine that quick before. 4 years. And we're supposedly going to have a vaccine for this coronavirus in like barely a year, maybe even a few more months. It's insane. But it's obviously because of a number of reasons. Coronavirus isn't really new. This is just a new strain of coronavirus. Keep in mind that these medical scientists were already working on a coronavirus vaccine a while back, and they ended up scrapping it. They never ended up finishing it because the previous coronavirus outbreaks weren't big enough. Other coronaviruses that broke out were so much more deadly that anyone that caught it, they knew right away that they were sick. So they were easily quarantined, because they either died or they got sick right away. This new coronavirus is like a ninja. Like it almost hides itself. There's a lot of people that catch this new coronavirus and they don't even know that they have it. Like, they maybe just feel like they have a cold or something. Some people don't even know they have it at all. They don't even feel sick. But they can easily make everyone around them sick. And that's why I like to call this strain of coronavirus the ninja virus, because it's a bit more mild compared to other, a couple other coronavirus strains that have broken out. Because if you caught the other coronaviruses, you knew really quick that you caught it, and the death rate was significantly higher. I think it was like 10 to almost 30% death rate. The death rate on this coronavirus is like around 3 to 5%, I think. It's still a lot higher than the flu, but it's not nearly as bad. So that's the biggest reason why this is the worst coronavirus. This is the worst illness in general so far that we've seen in a long time. And it's not so much because of the fatality rate. It's not so much of how deadly it is, because it's not nearly as deadly as a lot of other illnesses out there. But the reason why this is still worse than all of those other illnesses is because of how easily spreadable this is. It spreads like wildfire. So it's infecting pretty much the whole world, and it's taking its toll more than any other illness could. The other coronaviruses that broke out, there were only like there's only like 20, 30,000 cases of it. Maybe like 800 people died. Something like that. But with this coronavirus, it's spreading like the common cold. It's spreading more than the flu. It's ridiculous. But it has a much higher fatality rate. That's why hundreds of thousands of people are dying. This is insane. I mean, if we compare this to like the typical flu, I think maybe 70,000 people died so far in the past year from the flu. That's just in America. I'm just talking about America right now, damn it. Now you compare it to the coronavirus, and there's like 120,000 people apparently dead from it. So if you take those numbers into consideration, the coronavirus is at least 2 to 3 times deadlier than the flu. And everyone that I've talked to that's had it so far has said that it's 10 times more miserable than the flu. And it's probably just because of the fact that you have such a high chance of getting pneumonia, and the scary part is just not being able to breathe when you start getting pneumonia, because I've had pneumonia before, and it wasn't exactly fun. That was when I was a little kid, and I got so sick that I started becoming pretty much anorexic, like how I was when I was dealing with my gut problems a few months ago, because I had no appetite. But the difference was I had the flu, so I was puking like nonstop. I could barely drink water. But that one time, a long time ago, when I apparently got pneumonia, like, I remember the feeling of ammonia, damn it. You just feel like you're exhausted all the time. Like, you can barely walk around the house without feeling like you just ran several miles. Like, you just feel like you're breathing, but it's hardly doing anything. Like, you're just slowly suffocating. It's annoying. It's like, why would I want to deal with that crap? I've had the flu. I know what it's like. It was annoying, just being nauseous and barfing all the time. I've had ammonia, which just made me more exhausted. It made me lose a lot of weight. Coronavirus is like all of that. It's like all of these illnesses in one tight, compact package. Coronavirus is like the cold and the flu and ammonia all in one package. Why would I want to deal with all of that? The cold is annoying, the flu is miserable, and ammonia makes me fear for my life. I don't want to deal with all 3 of those at once. I don't want to deal with them at all. You deal with that crap.